You know, this is actually kind of an interesting situation here, right? You have the double Medusa. So I have the Bloodrack Medusa and the Bloodrack Shrine, both of which do have a Medusa shooting. And we're facing off against Prince Sigvald, who I believe actually is like in reflective mirror armor. If we take a look here, it looks like at least his shield is a little bit reflective here. I don't know so much about his armor. And then of course we have the Mirror Guard, which are the bodyguard of Prince Sigvald facing off against the Medusas. Wouldn't it be cool if wouldn't it be neat if the Mirror Guard could actually reflect Medusa attacks? What if there was just that one caveat in the game that the Mirror Guard had a reflective ability against the Medusas to reflect their gaze back at them? That would be really interesting. But anyways, guys, as far as the build goes, I know I've been putting up a ton of battles with MALUS Darkblade and using, of course, the Scourge Runner Chariots and some of the other new Dark Elf units, but I haven't really put up any battles at all using the Medusa here or the Bloodrack Shrine. So of course we have the Medusa, we have the Shrine, and the Medusa is certainly an interesting unit. Now what I've found is that their attacks, their ranged attacks, are very powerful against infantry. So 110 range, 18 shots, 375 missile damage with great penetration. So you guys will see here in just a second, that's what she said, going to be going after the Mirror Guard, and it will do some serious hard-hitting damage. However, over the course of the game, I found that the Bloodrack Medusa, and also in some testing, doesn't do well against cav units. So things like Demogryph Knights, Chaos Knights, even though you think it would, right? It has good AP values, seems to have good penetration, but it really just doesn't do much against Chaos Knights and things like that, which is very strange. But look at that against the infantry. Really, really good damage. And that was only the first shot, and it wasn't even a super good shot. But nonetheless, going to be using this guy to blast infantry. We do also have the Bloodrack Shrine up here. And this thing is pretty interesting. Now, its buffs only go off when it's in combat. So here you can see when it's in melee, it's going to give my guys +7 melee attack, +4 leadership, and it's basically going to nerf the stats of my opponent's stuff by pretty much the same thing, -4 leadership and -7. So pretty cool stuff with an elite Dark Elf build. You come in with Hargoneth Executioners, a really grindy front line, just aggressive, and you buff them up with the Bloodrack Shrine, and you're also getting steady AP damage out of the Shrine itself. Now, I actually haven't tried them against single entity Footlords, so I think over the course of this game I do actually shoot Sigvald a couple times, so we'll get to see that. On top of that, the rest of the army is going to be just a bunch of spears, and we do in the back have the Sisters of Singing Doom to try and rampage some high value targets. In the back we have Cold One Knights, and we are going to be coming in with MALUS Darkblade as well. The High Beastmaster could be okay here, actually not bad for buffing up Medusas and things like that, but I'm just having so much damn fun with MALUS, so we're going to be continuing to try and make him work here. Well, not make him work, he has worked in many games, he's very, very good. So for the forces of Aerocrastic coming in with the Mirror Guard, trying to reflect the stone, well I guess it doesn't really turn him to stone, so not sure about how that interaction would go, but going to be using them just to kind of screen to the front line. And man, those Medusas are just doing so much work. Brutal stuff. So on top of that, he's got Chaos Marauders. He does have one group of Chosen with great weapons who I probably should have been targeting here. On top of that, a couple groups of Chaos Knights, 2 in total, 3 groups of Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes, which will be a very valuable asset here against my altar, which of course is big, fairly armored, and a bit of a magnet for missile attacks. He does have a Deathcaster with Spirit Leech and Fate of Buna. Buna going to be very good against Hargoneth Executioners or Black Guard builds, but really a lot of pressure coming in from Chaos Knights, Trolls, and of course Prince Sigvald. I don't know if he got any buffs. Maybe a buff to his melee defense? I can't quite remember what it was before, but as a matter of fact, I feel like there's something about Footlords in general where the meta's shifting a little bit. They're becoming a little bit more playable in competitive play, which is a great thing for sure. So let's get this show on the road, guys, and see if these Medusas can pull it out. So getting some great shots here against Mirror Guard. They've only lost 4 models, but look at the HP. They're down to 40%. Really, really brutal stuff for sure. So the Chaos Knights going to be charging in, MALUS and company getting ready to meet them. Witch Elves are going to be surging forward to meet those Chaos Knights, but Arrow does pull them back. But here comes the first fight. It's the Cold One Knights and MALUS Darkblade charge in. The Demon's Curse is going to be active, and the altar is coming in as well. And it should shoot while it's moving, so yeah, we're going to see some nice shots right there. That's really cool. So instantly you can see that the terror does affect the Trolls, because again, the Bloodrack Shrine does cause terror. The Demon's Curse going down as well, so a really good trade. Mirror Guard kind of getting pounded, Hargoneth Executioners in good shape, and now over here we have a fight between these Chosen with great weapons and the Hargoneth Executioners, which should be good for the Chosen. They'll have a pretty good situation there. But basically just trying to fall back and form a bit of a flank denial because I can't really secure my whole position. So here you can see the Chaos War Hounds with Poison going to be attacking the back, going after Cold One Knight, so I am going to be sending my Knights there, my Dread Spears to perhaps intercept that. And MALUS here going to be popping the Blood Price as well, trying to hold back the Unholy Tide of Chaos, which is pretty aggressive here. Those Trolls have come back in. They're now throwing up on my elite troops here, so I have to pull in some Spears to help out against those large boys. Here comes the Pendulum as well, going to be going down the ranks, going after Chaos Marauders. I mistakenly thought those were elite troops, so I used the Pendulum, a bit of a waste. Now, as far as the main battle goes, MALUS doing a good job keeping those Hargoneth guys fighting a little bit longer, and now that he does have the support of some Spears, it should be good. But nonetheless, Aerocrastic doing a really good job here with the Marauder Horsemen, just focusing down my Shrine, which is getting quite low. And I did notice that I overextended here with the Medusa. Granted, I probably should have honestly kept it on that target. Wouldn't have been a bad idea. So the Medusa is going to be pulling back into the main fight. It, of course, has some good AP values in melee. Should be able to feast on the souls of some of these chosen here. And the Dread Spear is going to be surging in as well with the Sorcerers of Shadows, providing some support through the form of Melkos Mystifying Miasma and Enfeebling Foe here in just a moment. But yeah, basically the fight's going pretty well in the front line. We have been able to break off the initial Chaos push. Granted, Chaos has a ton of skirmishing elements. The Trolls will maybe come back and make them pay the Troll Toll. And Prince Sigvald's quite happy. He's standing on top of his chosen here, but the Medusa has plus the Shrine, lowering their stats and also giving me good AP. Yeah, the Medusa is very, very good against infantry, but again, against knights and things like that, they don't seem to do quite as well. So the fight is underway here. Malus Darkblade has spotted Sigvald. Now, what kind of a demon is Tazarkan? Is he like a Chaos Undivided demon, or is he something like entirely different? Like, is he a Slanesh demon? That would actually be a really interesting narrative. So here in the back, you can see that I do have the Medusa shooting at Chaos Knight. So this is something I really wanted to show you guys. And you'll notice that it like picks off a model, but the HP damage it does to the Chaos Knights really isn't that good compared to what it does to the infantry. So I think that Medusa's in matchups in which you're facing off against like mass infantry could actually be pretty good. And I do like the Shrine quite a bit. It's cool having like a chariot that gives really good buffs, and also of course does have some pretty good missile pressure. Now as far as the bounce of power goes, Aerocrastic's pulling this one back, guys. He's doing really good with his Chaos Knights, kind of cleaning up the flanks. All my chaff and Dread Spears and things like that are really just getting karate chopped by those rock hard lances here. And now he's going to be coming in. So guys, the bounce of power is kind of creeping out of my favor as these Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes continue to just pour into my Bloodrack Shrine, and I think Tazarkan has to be summoned. Spirit Leech going down as well. Malus Darkblade trying his best to hold here, but he is in Tazarkan form now, so the Bloodstorm going down, doing so much huge damage on top of that Reaper of Souls as well. So Malus has some really good tools for punishing blobs, doing massive AoE damage, turning into his demonic form. Bloodstorm does good burst damage, and you can see he's dragging down Chaos Knights. And suddenly there's a turning of the tide as Chaos is in a bit of a mass rout here. The Terror coming in from the Shrine, plus Malus Darkblade in his demonic form, just an absolute powerhouse. So at this point we're going to be going after Siggy, trying to put him down, but Sigvald's a pretty tanky character. He has a decent HP pool, his regeneration and his melee defense are both very good. But Aerocrastic, of course, a very savvy tournament player here, going to be pulling in his horsemen to screen. So now I can't really chase Sigvald. He's able to squeak away, and Sigvald does, of course, have his healing. And now that I've used the Tazarkan, of course, I'm on a bit of a clock. So Pendulum's going to be going down here, right on top of these horsemen, and you get a decent cast, does some okay damage, but it looks like he was able to dodge that for the most part, trying to get goodies where I can. But like I said, Tazarkan does perpetually damage Malus, making him take that steady tick. So he is going to be going down. So if Aerocrastic can just last and not let me get Prince Sigvald, he'll probably be in pretty good shape. So Chaos Knights here are rampaging. I believe I have some Witch Elves or something making them rampage. Yeah, it looks like these Sisters of Singing Doom. The last of them, only 21 models are rampaging these guys, but it's helping. Tazarkan is getting in there. He's taking out Chaos Knights one by one, and it's certainly quite nice. Couple hounds over here, could be jumping on top of the Sorcerer, but you can see here the Bloodrack Shrine is able to rout those guys off with the Terror and shatter them actually. Marauder Horsemen in pretty good shape. You can see here there's a group of 40, there's a group of, I think, yeah, pretty much full health there. Another Bloodstorm going down from Malus is able to really wreck those Chaos Knights and those Marauders, and suddenly, guys, we have a very, very close game on our hands. I mean, Chaos really doesn't have too much left. They have Marauder Horsemen, a couple chosen here, 12 models, 36 of those guys, but if we look around, I mean, that's really it. A couple Marauders on the edge of the battlefield, but Tazarkan is a ticking time bomb here, and I think Aerocrastic knows this. He's sending in troops one at a time, making sure not to blob up again, and it's certainly paying off pretty well as another Reaper of Souls does go down, which does, of course, heal up Malus. So he's able to heal up a little bit, and now we're going to be going in, trying to take out some goodies. You can see the Medusas shooting in against the Sorcerer, doing some okay damage. And Malus is going to be jumping in against these infantry, hopefully doing well. But a nice Spirit Leech going down to the Bloodrack Medusa. Probably going to be quite strong. I think I was actually trying to snipe Sigvald with the Medusa, but Sigvald was juking. He's pretty quick. He's got those Slaneshi feet over there, hustling around pretty quick for the Dark Prince, and yeah, can't quite get him. So the Sorcerer going to be charging in, the Chaos Sorcerer trying to get that little poking damage here in the Bloodrack Shrine. Yeah, the bounce power is still going in the favor of Chaos, and I think that's partially because Sigvald's just sitting back with his Auric Armor, just cackling and healing, really bringing a lot to the battle here as the Horseman, getting some solid value here on the Bloodrack Shrine. And also the Shrine's out of ammunition. It was shooting the entire time, and that's what's cool about it. Maybe it might actually be smarter to actually use the Shrine at Fire at Will mode so it doesn't waste its ammo, like on meaningless targets, basically, but I didn't do that this game. So the Medusa here does get jumped by the Marauder Horseman and the Sorcerer. Really nice pick there by Aerocrastic. The Bloodrack Medusa is going to be getting chased off the battlefield for sure. And Malus Darkblade coming in, popping Bloodstorm once again, and that is going to be sending the Marauder Horseman running for the hills here, taking some damage and getting terrified. But at this point, my apologies for that, guys. I'm probably not going to be able to, do this here. You can see the Sorcerers here, Sigvald's healing, Tazarkan the Demon, thirst for blood. Yeah, I'm really curious if he's a Slanesh Demon, actually, but Anyways, Malus is going to be pretty strong here. He's got 494 HP. Certainly going to be doing his best to fight back against Sigvald here. But I think the Dark Prince Sigvald, or whatever demon here is favoring Sigvald here in this duel as Tazarkan, perhaps he made some enemies in the warp, is going to be popping Reaper of Souls, doing massive AoE damage and also healing him, guys. Very, very tense situation, but Sigvald is able to finish him off. And that's going to be all she wrote. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. My phone was going hog wild. I thought I had it muted, but I got this new phone. I just feel like such an old fogey with technology. I'm just like, oh, how do you silence this thing? Yeah, but anyways, guys, very fun battle for sure. It was a very unorthodox build. Malus was a beast. You guys saw that. And that blob, like, it went from me just like losing the game to just suddenly it was a close battle. He's an absolute monster of a character. I'm really a big fan of Malus. And I think it's balanced too. I don't feel like he's imbalanced. I feel like the punishment for that strength is quite like good. You know, he's going to be taking that steady damage himself, and you know, you're paying the price for it. So aside from that, I thought the build was fun. I think that a single Medusa I think is really good. I think maybe just getting the Bloodrack Shine would probably be better. And maybe if you're going to go for a build like this, the Medusa plus the Shrine are going to be enough to deal with infantry. I think going for Blackguard to deal with Chaos Knights and Shaggots and more aggressive builds like that would be pretty good. From there, you could probably just cut some Dread Spears and, you know, go in a way like that. And of course, Palpatine in the background. Just all the things going wrong, but it's okay. It was a really fun battle. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this Dark Elf showdown. Probably one of my favorite battles I've had in the pre-release here between the Dark Elves and Chaos. It was a lot of fun seeing Sigvald just being an absolute beast as well with his glorious parted hair. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this Dark Elf vs. Chaos game. And make sure to check out Aerocrastic on YouTube. We have a lot of great battles coming up between us. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks guys, and take care.